Alright, y'all boys, we back with another video. So today we are going to be doing a review, and it's going to be of a new character that did release on global. It is a free-to-play character, one that we kind of been expecting for some time now. Obviously, the main topic is going to be Dagon. Now, we're going to be talking about him because he is a free-to-play character, so a lot of people will most likely have him, and he just got added, obviously, to the Phantom Metal Exchange Shop, and I'm sure many of you are wondering whether he's worth to exchange for or not. If you're a collector, obviously he's worth it just because, I mean, you want to have all the characters, right? But let's talk about his actual performance, right? Dagon is a yellow curse technique bruiser DPS, so I'll mostly be comparing him to like the strongest yellow curse technique DPS currently in the game, which is going to be, of course, Team Gojo. And let's be honest, if you have Team Gojo, you will legit never use the Dagon as a DPS. There's literally no situation where Dagon outperforms Gojo and he doesn't out damage him. He can't, out tank hidden inventory Gojo's infinity, and he can't out nuke, that Gojo as well. It also costs, like a lot just to use his ult. It literally costs 1,946 ult gauge, which is the highest in the entire game. Even with the 26% extra ult recharge rate from his passive, it's just so fucking garbage. To compare, Hanami's ult gauge for her domain is 1750, so like 1750, while having a 78% ult recharge rate. On top of that, his skill 3 inside domain expansion only does 333% damage while costing 40 cursed energy. It's so bad. So bad. This is some characters like literally their skill 1. Like literally someone's skill 1 does that. So bad. For comparison, other characters get much higher multipliers for like literally the same or a lower cost in cursed energy. Now, another flaw from his passive is the 1000 ult gauge he gets when he drops below 40% HP. After playing him a bunch, obviously not on Global Bond JP, I noticed that quite often his passive will trigger during his domain, and since the domain is 6 turns, he can't gain ult gauge. So basically when he's in his domain and then he gains the ult gauge, it's not going to actually apply because he's in his domain, so it just gets wasted. They really tried really hard to kind of make him like a bruiser, but his damage reduction is literally ass. He's basically kind of like a Miguel situation, right, where he doesn't really bruise that well, like doesn't tank that well, so he's kind of like a mid bruiser, and his damage output just isn't really that high. You're better off just using a DPS in the first place who does more damage than him. So now that we're done talking about Dagon specifically, let's actually talk about his teams and his collections in case you did want to use this character. All right, so here we have Dagon, right? Now, let's talk about what his best recollection is. I would have to say the best recollection is definitely going to be the Cursed Spirit School group. It's basically like Like-Minded Sisters, but for cursed technique damage. So it basically has, I believe, Mahito, Hanami, and Dagon, and then obviously Jogo in the back, and they all look like they're dressing up for school or whatever, right? So that's definitely the memory you want to use on him. On top of that, he kind of benefits from being a cursed spirit, so he gets the additional 15 cursed energy. There's obviously other options, the usuals, kind of like pride and non-standard. Now for his team, honestly, I kind of feel even embarrassed talking about him, talking about it, since he's so trash. But since you play him as DPS, you pair him around usual yellow supports. Yellow Shoko, for example. I do not have her on global. You obviously can use characters like Yellow Yaga, right? Characters like Yellow Yaga. You can throw in like Rare Yuki. Let me see if I can find Rare Yuki real quick. Rare Yuki, so that way you can fix the issue with the cursed energy. Then maybe like Junpei to make the team less likely to get one shot in like more difficult content. I believe my Junpei is not touched, but he is maxed 2. But like, there's really not much to go off of this character. He's really not that crazy. Again, you could also use Yellow Shoko. Just want to point that out, even though you don't see her here. It's because I don't have her, but she's definitely a extremely viable choice for the team. But yeah, in conclusion, basically for Dagon, I feel like Dagon is just completely garbage. Like I said, bruiser DPS, sucks at being a bruiser. The damage reduction is not enough, especially for difficult content. On top of that, the damage is very, very bad. I feel like you're just better off using Team Gojo, for example, who will tank much better than him. On top of that, will do way more damage than him. There's literally no reason to use Dagon for anything until they kind of buff him in the near future, hopefully. The only redeemable thing about this character is literally his skill animations, which are really nice, but that's about it. This character is complete garbage, so don't even waste your time with him. If you're going to collect him, like just because you want to collect characters, then go for it. But he's definitely by far, in my opinion, the worst character to pick up through the Phantom Exchange Metal shop by far. But anyways, I appreciate y'all boys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.